Good evening, YouTube. Hardball Crazy come back at you. Got out one Mailday card here, one pre-war card of a very historical person. I would suffice to say he might be the most important baseball player in U.S. history. I'm not talking about Jackie Robinson and the segregation and race relations and the racism that we dealt with and still deal with some today. No, I'm not talking about Hank Greenberg, what he meant to the Jewish community. I'm talking about a man who was a spy during World War II, went behind enemy lines, and gave us important information. Who was this man? Mr. Moberg. The backup. This is a 1933 Gowdy card of him. I just picked up SGC1. Moberg was a backup catcher in the 30s and 40s. He went to school at Columbia and Princeton, I believe. He was known to read 10 newspapers a day before the games. Casey Stengel said he was the strangest man he ever met. He's also said that he knew 10 different languages but couldn't hit in any of them. Mr. Berg was very smart. That his first really mission was that he was part of the team that went to Japan in the 30s with likes of Babe Ruth and Jimmy Fox and Lou Gehrig, and the relations tour in Japan, trying to grow the sport over there. And while in Japan, he was trying to meet like a dignitary's daughter or something visiting them, got into it, then went up top of the roof and pulled out a camera under his kimono and took pictures of the Japanese skyline. And the U.S. used that information for the Doolittle raids of Japan in 1942. I believe that was the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know my U.S. history that well. Also of note, his biggest mission was that during World War II, his mission was to find out if the Germans and Eisenberg had how far along were they in getting a nuclear bomb. So he knew that Eisenberg was doing a lecture in Europe. So his job was to find out information on that. Found out if the Eisenberg and the Germans knew a lot about further along in the race for Nazi weaponry. His job was to kill Eisenberg. So he went to a lecture where Eisenberg was speaking at, listened to the lecture, trying to find out, and he found his way through after the lecture, talked to Eisenberg into a party and stuff, and he didn't find any information, so he did not kill Eisenberg. He had a gun in one pocket in his jacket and a cyanide pill in the second one to after the kill. He was supposed to kill himself, but he did not find any information that the Germans were far along. They thought Eisenberg said they were concentrating on like the tanks and such, traditional weaponry. So mission accomplished there. So I guess to save the U.S. some headache, world headache with nuclear weaponry. So I think he was a very important person in U.S. history. This is a 1933 Gowdy. Moberg. He only has a few cards. Pretty good shape, SGC1. Get higher grade stuff, it gets much more expensive. Guy had to buy it now, and I offered him an offer price, and he reduced it by $20 or so, so I got him a pretty good deal. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the night. Thank you and have a good night.